Hi everyone, this is Vaibhav Agrawal and welcome back to our YouTube channel that is Study Material. So in the previous video, as we have shared the experience of the Cognizant, Infosys and training of the Infosys and many more to come. So today Adit Vyas is with us and he is going to share the experience of Persistent. So Adit, the first question I want to ask you that tell your pass out year, your company and your stream that in which you have just graduated to our viewers.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, Vaibhav, I would like to thank you and your channel for having me here. And
My
it's been
pleasure.
great that you have invited me here. So let's uh, starting with my passing out year. So I've completed my graduation in 2019 with information technology from Lakshmi Narayan College of Technology, Bhopal.
Okay, that's great. Oh, okay, guys. So moving ahead, so as we are just going to discuss about the recruitment process of the Persistent. So,
Okay.
starting the first question about the recruitment. So, can you please let us know that how many rounds were there and some details about each round?
Yeah, sure. So usually persistent, it's like it varies for company to company. So in persistent, we have, I guess we have gone for 3 rounds there. So
Okay,
they have their own criteria for hiring the people or freshers there. So they came up
okay,
with the three packages. So
okay,
4.4, 6.4, and 8.4. So they used to have their own names on defining all of that. So first of all, in first round, as usual, we have a written examination where all of them have set down, all the people set down, and we have a logical kind of questions. Aptitude, it was aptitude round, simple aptitude round.
okay,
So where we have a questions from like logic reasoning, we have a math kind of questions there, and all of that. Like all the aptitude section we have on
okay,
that. English section we have that, and after that, like for 60 minutes, 60 questions we have for all of these kind of questions, and then we have a coding round
okay,
which was of 45 minutes. So at that round, it was a combined round. We can say that it is comes under the written examination only. So for 60 minutes, we have like all of these questions for 60 questions, and then we have a coding round of 45 minutes where we
okay,
have two questions of coding. So usually in when I've given the written examination for other companies like Cognizant and Infosys, there we have their own. They have a partnership with HackerRank, so they have their own compiler. But here we don't have any compiler there. There
okay,
was just a text editor. So there was a two questions. It was a simple question. So whether we need to do it, and we can code in any of the language. Either we can do
okay,
it by C, C sharp, C hash, or Java or a Python.
okay. That's great.
So I chose Java there, and then for that we have a coding question or two questions. So after that we have a after with that there are some people who get selected, and then the second round was of technical round. So there
Okay,
were two
okay,
technical round one and a technical round two. So what happened? They were calling out our names, and they have taken the technical round. So in technical round, we have gone with our resumes. So in technical round one, they have asked as per the resume that what sort of things you have mentioned in your resume, and then as
okay,
per that information, they were asking the question. So for sure, yeah, if you are heading towards the IT industry, so it's sure that they will ask you the database questions and all of that.
okay.
So as per my, as I was a Red Hat certified administrator at that time when I
Ah,
was in college.
that's great.
So they were asking me the questions of Red Hat, so what I have done and how did I approach that certification, why I have done that. So that
Okay,
was a technical round one, and there was also a technical round two as well. So usually, when they have taken the written examination, they have segregated some people. Like for 6.4, for 8.4, and for 4.4, they have segregated the people. So for 6.4 and for 8.4, the person who gets selected in 6.4 criteria and
okay,
8.4 criteria, they have their own coding round just after the first round.
okay,
So that happened. So after the technical round one, there was a technical two for, and it is for only for some of the people, not for all of them. Only some of the students have gone through for the technical round two. If the person feels of, or if the interview feels that it is okay to take him to the HR, then it was directly going to the HR. So although I've gone to the technical round one, and then again I've gone to the technical round two. Technical round two was a little bit having the ratio of HR as well. So they were asking me about the academics and all. So they were
okay,
checking me confidence. They were also asking me the logical questions. They were trying to have my communication skills checked fully. So they were asking me such questions like if you are on a left and it's going up and down. So all those this kind of questions they were asking me about the cubics. They were asking me about the bits and grams. Such questions are also there. When you will like when the viewers will go to the IndiaBix and such kind of websites, they'll find all these questions. So all these type of questions they were asking me. And after that, selecting on that round, we headed towards the HR round, where at that point they again asked us academics. They were also finding out that what sort of strengths we have in our own, and we have been selected, and that was a wow moment for me as well.
Okay, okay. That's great, Adit. So, hello?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great, Aris. So as you have told every crisp details about the recruitment process, so some questions arises from here, like that you were saying that when Persistent recruits in a college, so they were recruiting at the three packages, that is 4.4, 6.4, and 8.2, I think. So what were the criteria for them that you were saying that after the written exam, some of the students got shortlisted for the 6.4 package, some of the students got shortlisted for the 8.2 package. So what were the criteria? I mean to say that they have done all the questions of the coding correctly, or aptitude part was their best, or what is there any specific criteria or not?
So it's very difficult to say the specific criteria for a company because I'm also not aware about that. But yeah, I can tell you there is some cutoff value. If suppose it's just a context I'm talking about. I'm not sure about that, but it is like if the coding questions where all of them are right, so they have their cutoff section.
Okay.
So if suppose if the person has done the aptitude section also well and the coding questions are also correct, maybe at that point they have segregated the person. But the main segregation point was there after the aptitude section for having the other round, which I have told you right now.
Okay.
So there was a yoga, I guess, yoga, and then for advanced coding round, and then for so they have like regular, medium, and the high level people there. So the regular one will only go for a 4.4 package, right? So for 6.4 and 8.4, they have their own round where they have their dedicated hacker rank kind of compiler there, and there were two coding questions. Again, they have a round for only those people, like for 6.4 and 8.4 package one. And that point they have segregated. Okay, so these guys are I have been selected from 6.4 and 8.4. So now they will take not a easier one, but comparatively higher level of questions would be asked to them who have been selected in the 6.4 or 8.4 criteria.
Okay, that's great. So one more question about the written examination that you said that it comprises of the aptitude, reasoning, English. So some of the companies, as I know, as my knowledge, that some of the companies used to ask the technical questions in the form of the MCQ. They may ask the DBMS question, database structures question. So something is like that in Persistent or not? And one more criteria that I have listened about some companies that they used to ask the essay round competition. I mean to say there is an essay round, and some company used to ask to write the mail. Is there any other round for
mail writing? Yeah. Yeah, so absolutely right. You're right, Weber. So I forgot to tell you about that as well. So we have the DBMS questions there. We have the data structure questions there. So it's quite normal, right? So we are giving the examination for a technical IT industry. Right. So it's quite normal that they would DBMS questions. They would ask the data structure questions. They would ask Java or coding logical questions. So I found out, as I've told, DBMS questions, the data structure questions. Also, we have the questions from computer network as well. So if the freshers would give their more attention towards the aptitude, DBMS, data structure, and the computer network, then I think they would be able to get that examination.
Okay, that's great, Adit. So next question about the resume. That how important resume in an interview? I mean to say that interviewer asks the questions from the resume, or it might be the case that some of the students did not mention some specific technology, and recruiters may ask the questions. Likewise, I asked Aryan Jain, as he has shared the experience of Infosys. So he was saying that he did not mention the big data, machine learning, but interviewer used to ask some basic knowledge about that. Do we know about the machine learning? Do we know about the big data? So something like that in your interview or not?
Yeah, so that's really important and good questions asked from you. So there are always, when we are heading towards the organization and we are giving the interview or giving the written examinations, there are always a two aspects. The one is a technical aspect, and the second one is a behavioral and a presentational aspect. So these things comes under the presentation and a behavioral aspect.
Okay.
So a resume is very important, as said. So what people, even I have done big mistakes. So this kind of thing used to be avoided by the freshers. What they do, they usually, when they come, suppose the companies are coming. So what they do, they used to rush and they used to make the resume in one day only.
Okay.
So what they have done, they usually make a copy of resume from another person. So that's totally wrong.
Yeah.
If you have some strength, it can be my weakness. If you have some
Right.
weakness, it can be my strength. So you cannot copy a resume. The resume is your personality written in a piece of paper.
Okay.
So this thing is very important. You should be writing your resume very crisp and clear. It should denote that this is the personality you have. This is the technicality skills you have. This kind of background you have in your education. These are the strengths you have. These kind of things are there which you can express to the interviewer.
Right.
So you should not be like that. That if you don't know the big data and you are writing there that I'm good at big data. So when you write under the technical skills, you write some of the languages, right? You write C, you write Java, you write Python, you write CH, and etc. etc. So if you don't know C, I would suggest that people should not write C, right?
Correct.
Because the person, when the interviewer will see C, so he would have asking direct questions and he would be confident that if the person has written the C there, then
Right.
he should be fully aware about that.
Right.
And as you told question Aryan Jan, right? So you have mentioned before with Aryan Jan. So he told that he doesn't mention the big data there.
Right.
So now there are also two aspects. If you don't know the technology, you should not mention it. But
Right.
it is the responsibility of interviewer that he or she can ask you about the boom technology. So we are not in industrial age, right? We are not in industrial age thinking. We believe in a information age thinking.
Right.
So right now, if you will see, there are a boom of machine learning, there is a boom of artificial intelligence, there is a boom of big data, cloud, and all of these.
Right.
So irrespective of the fact that we are not having a deep knowledge on that, but we should have at least a knowledge of that. Right. What is big data? How cloud works? What is Amazon Web Services? All those things at least we should know, because at the end we are making future in the IT industry only. So if you are able to speak out about these technologies, so it's a plus point for us. So in my interview only, they have asked me about the machine learning. I would have not mentioned it in my resume. There was no mentioning of big data or new technologies in my resume, but they have asked me, but I was known about that. So I've told them. So it's a kind of a plus point there. So I would suggest that the person should not write there. But if you have done something you have done the certifications, then you should be properly in a crisp and clear. You should be having a courtesy language, and you should mention all those things in the resume.
Right.
I would suggest that.
Okay, Adis. So moving ahead, the question about the project, how important the project in the recruitment process. That academic project, some students write down 3 to 4 projects in a resume. Some students do not have any single project of the IT. So how project is important in the recruitment process?
So according to me, I guess if a person writes 2 projects, so at least according to me, at least 2 projects is mandatory. It's not mandatory, but you should have at least 2 projects, right? Because in 7th semester, the interviewer have this context that you may have done the minor project and done the major project. So that's why I'm giving out you the 2 numbers. So project is really very important. It shows that you have learned the Java or a C or any of the languages, and you have implemented it.
Right, correct.
Because a degree is just a piece of paper. The real knowledge is your behavior, your attitude, or the technical skills you have. So project is really very important for a guy who is giving the interview, because they may ask you, they will not ask you the direct questions of Java, because they have already taken the written examination. They will be asking what was your role in your project. So I'll be asked that what was your role in your project, how your project is important for environment, or like what advantages your project has, what kind of uniqueness your project has.
Right.
So you should, if you have done the work in your project, then only you would be able to give the answers for these questions. Otherwise, you will be not. Because I've
Okay.
seen, even I have done that, because many people, what they used to do, they have their own members in the group. They used to, the only two members used to do the work in the project, and the another one used to get it and play the counter side. So that
Yeah,
should not be there. It
yeah.
should be properly explainable when you are giving the when you are having the discussion about the project with your interview.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Adish, for this knowledge. Okay, Adish, so
Yeah.
one more questions about the training, internship, and some about workshop, that how important those in the academics that students should do some training, some workshop, or some kind of the internship. So how important it is in recruitment process.
Yeah, so I would suggest that if the student or a fresher has an opportunity or for an internship or a training, then he or she must take it. Because when we were we, some of my colleagues, and we have got selected for Aspect Technologies. So we were so much of excited about that. So it gives you pre-knowledge when you are, like, suppose you are joining any organization. So
Right.
before that, if you are working in any of the health environment, in any of the IT environment, so it gives you some knowledge and a
Yeah.
pre-authorization that, okay, I'm aware about all these things, that how work has to be done in an IT company. So you will learn about the agile methodologies and all. We have only read them in the books, but we have
Correct.
not implemented that. So if you'll do the training on that one, if you'll do the training, like in Bhopal, there are like Appin Technology. They have some their own packages of the trainings. But I would suggest that not doing the training from the institutions, but the freshers should apply everywhere, like in the company, and there they used to do the internship. I would suggest them to do the internship rather than just doing the training, because training is just kind of a learning. It's not about the implementation.
Okay, okay. So as viewers, you can listen that Adit is saying that internship is more important than the training, because training can give you only learning, but internship can give you the hands-on experience. And and about the project, as Adit told that about the project, that students should know each and everything about the project. That if you did not make the project, if you haven't not worked on the project, but you should be knowing everything. Okay, so Adit, moving ahead. So as we have covered almost all the questions on the resume, one more question about the resume, that how long should be the resume should be. I mean to say that some student made 2-page resume, some student used to make 1 page, 3 page. So how should it be, should be long? 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, how?
I would suggest if freshers go with the one page only,
Okay.
because the more crisp and clear your language or your resume would be, that have the more chances of getting interpreted by the interviewer. So what I'm trying to say, if you have a two page kind of thing, and 2 page of resume you have, then you should going back and forth and see the
Yeah.
details. But
Right.
if it has to be like uh, contextful with minimal information, then he should not be going back and forth. He will just see, okay, so this is the name, so this was your first project, this was your second project. So he'll feel like, as per my opinion, it should go by the one page only. But there is nothing written there that you should have only a one page of resume. You can have the two, but I would suggest that it would be great if you have a one
Oh,
page of resume.
okay, Adish, so that's great. Now, okay, Adish, so share your resume with us. So I will upload that on our OneDrive, so each student can refer that.
Yeah, sure. I'll share my resume with you, and I also suggest that don't make your resume in a 1 or 2 day. Just take your time, understand your personality, understand what sort of strengths and what sort of weakness you have, because the moment you will start thinking about yourself, the moment you will start talking
Right.
with yourself in front of the mirror, the more you will get to know about yourself. So
Right.
it's important.
Okay, okay, Adish. So next question is about the sources that from where the students can prepare for the recruitment process, for the interview, for the technical round, for HR round, and for the written exam. Have you taken any coaching? Have you joined any institute for the process of, for, I mean to say, for preparation of the recruitment process? So is there any specific, is there any YouTube specific channel, something like that? Can you please tell us the references?
Okay, so I have not joined any institution when I was going for a placement. So usually now, as I've told, that it is an information age. So most of the things are available online, right? So
Right.
we have a lot of YouTube channels, we have a lot of websites, we have a lot of websites who run their own packages of placements as well right now.
Right.
So I would suggest for aptitude, they can go with the IndiaBix, and along with that, you have to go with the quantitative aptitude of RS Agrawal. We have a for English also they have their own book. So RS Agrawal is a good book, I would say. I've done most of my preparings from that book only. So you
Okay.
can go with the IndiaBix, you can go with the RS Agrawal book, you can also go with the CareerRide.com. So CareerRide has also their YouTube channel as well. If you think that you might want to see and learn, then you can go with the YouTube channel as well. And also the Mahindra coaching, if you remember, there is also Mahindra coaching, and they have also their YouTube channel. So if you want to learn some tricks and tips and tricks, so usually we have a tips and tricks in quantitative aptitude, right? So you can learn that kind of tips and tricks from their channel, because when you are giving interview for any of the organization, it is about the smart work. It's not about the hard work. It's about the smart work. The smart work, the speedy you'll get the organization to work on. And for the English, I would rather suggest CareerRide only, because I've done that only. And after that, for the technicality, you should be visiting Java T Point. So Java T Point not only gives the information about the Java, but for all of the languages. Its name is Java T Point. And there is also one more website, Geeks for Geeks is also there. And there are also websites, they have their own coding environment there, like for HackerRank, TechGIG, HackerEarth. All these websites are really very good. If you'll go there, you can have your implementation, you can implement your code there, you will learn, you will practice. So the more you'll practice, the more you will learn. So you can learn about the whichever language you are on, and you can implement it. So they have their own set of questions. So if you'll do, you will go up with their rank as well.
Okay, that's great. Aditya, you have shared everything in detail. So some more, three more questions. I will not take more time. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, Aditya. So talking about I need to say written examination. So as you have told that some questions were from the DBMS, some questions from DS, some from software engineering. So interviewer may ask the questions from the technical subject. So I just want to ask some important subjects that you want to tell to our viewers, that some of the important subjects from the ITCS background, they should be knowing each and everything about that, or should be knowing the basic knowledge of that subject. So can you please mention those subjects?
Yeah, sure. So there is always one subject, that is DBMS, which is really very important. It's a must, a learning factor for a fresher. So in DBMS, there are a lot of questions like stored procedure. So you should be knowing about the stored procedure. You should be knowing, or I would say you must knowing about the joins. So we have a lot of joins in DBMS subject. Right. So that is very important. I have said, so we can list it down. Joins, stored procedures, there are some constants, how to work with constants, and how the creation of table, the creation of triggers, all of these things are really very important. So when you will work in any of the projects, because right now I'm working in a project where the DBMS plays a very important role. So you should be knowing about that, how to make a stored procedure, because you cannot directly implement it in the environment. So you should have your own stored procedure, which you should do all the things in the background and gives you the main result. So mainly stored procedure, joins, and creation of tables, triggers, and all of these things are really very important there. And when you'll go with the data structures, of course, the data structures is really very important. So you should be going about the trees and graphs. There are maps. There are collision frameworks is really very important. Data in the data structures, and all those, like for the primary skill, the basic knowledge of the data structures must be there. So, and any one of the language which you are going through, that is very important.
So mainly two subjects are important according to you. You mean to say DBMS and DS?
Yeah. We can say that the operating system or a computer network is also there, but according to me, when I have discussed this with a lot of people, and the people and the students around me, when we were just giving the interviews, so only few students were there who have been asked about this operating system and a computer network. So they usually go to DBMS with data. So you can also go to the operating system, like they have their own like basic things, right? Critical section and all those things you can go with.
Okay, and this, so some questions on the basic programming. That I mean to say that recruiters may ask us some basic to write down some basic programming like the Palindrome number, Fibonacci series, prime numbers. So can you recall some of the basics programming questions so viewers can just refer them at the time of the recruitment process?
Yeah, so basic questions, as you told, prime numbers, Fibonacci series,
Yeah.
these kind of questions are there. Then you can have that arranging the star as well. So
Yeah.
star topology kind of questions are there.
Pattern
You should
question,
be
yeah.
arranging the stars in a triangle pattern. You should be arranging the star in a rectangular pattern, and all of these kind of
Right.
things. So I guess these type of questions are there, and also like array questions are also there. Arrange the array, like find out the index item. If you have an array of like 10 elements, then you should divide it and then remolding it, and all of these kind of questions. So mainly
Okay.
array part and the arranging part is important.
Okay. Okay, Adish. So that's great. So as you have told about the basic programming, so they were the questions for the IT background students. If some of the students are from mechanical background, some students are from civil electronics. So what is the criteria for them? I mean to say, Persistent used to recruit them, or how it is? They only used to recruit the only CS background student.
Okay, so there are two things here, Vaibhav. If a person have knowledge of IT industry, or
Okay.
someone has an interest to do for doing a job in IT organization, then he must or he would be able to crack the interview. Otherwise, not at all,
Okay.
because the written examination is has their own parameters, which
Correct.
is a little bit tough. So if the mechanical is giving the written examination there, then he would not be able. That might be he would not be able to crack that examination. So somehow it cracks it. So he should be having knowledge about all these things. Suppose if you are going in the IT industry and if you don't have the knowledge about the logic, you don't have the knowledge about the DBMS, you don't know anything about the language, then how the Persistent would take it? None of the company will take it.
Correct.
So that depends person to person. If someone, I know some of the people who were from the mechanical background, so but they share the knowledge. They have the knowledge in any one of because they know one of the language. They know about the technologies which are booming right now. So they have cracked some of the examinations for the organization. So it differs person to person. So if they have mechanical or civil branch, and if they have a knowledge, if they want to make a career in the IT industry, then they can crack it. Otherwise, just for taking a job, then I don't think they would be able to hire.
Okay. Okay, Adish.
Yeah.
So as per my knowledge that we have covered everything about the recruitment process. So if you thought that I missed any one point or any other thing, then you can tell it from your end. Is there any something that I missed?
No, I don't think that you have missed. The only like I just want to uh, give the some experiences to the freshers that they should not be going just blank-minded when they are giving the interview. They should be mostly prepared of it. They have their own resume, which is showing their personality. They have their own skill set. They have their own strengths. So, and they should be prepared when they are giving any interview. So, like if I'm having an interview on a 21st, then I should
Yeah.
be preparing myself on 15th. So usually we get to know that this is the right time, and the TPO used to inform us that the companies are coming. So at that point, I would say if the person just used to learn with a greater knowledge in just for 1 month, then he or she should be able to crack any examination for any organization. But the
Okay.
interest should be more and more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I recall one more question about the communication skills that in the HR rounds they used to check your confidence level, your communication skills. So, what is the process to enhance your communication skills? Because some of the students I checked and I found that they are very weak in their communication skills. So, how they can just enhance that in 15 days or 1 month? Yeah.
Yeah. So in 15 days or 1 month, if you want to enhance your communication skills, then there are a lot of things to enhance, and there are some things which we guys used to do it. So the first
Yeah,
thing
right.
is you can go with the seeing the web series. So what we used to do, we used to select the web series in which we have an interest. So that should not be like that if you don't have interest in some kind of topics and you are just seeing the web series of that,
Correct.
then it will not work that. If you have an interest, like there are a lot of web series, Game of Thrones, you have a lot of web series, Friends web series, and the Big Bang Theory, then you can go for it. So the subtitles which are there, when they will resonate in your ears, you'll you'll try to pronounce it. So
Yeah.
when you will listen much, you'll get a greater knowledge there. So that helps you. Communication skills can come, and after listening to that, you have to speak up.
Correct.
You have to try to express your feelings. So the moment you will start expressing your feelings, I think that would be better. So also you should start thinking about the English. There are a lot of channels. Let's talk with English. There is one channel in a YouTube. They used to give the sessions on grammatical mistakes, the grammar, and also in the communication skills. So I think you should be going there. I think if you are going with any of the coaching institutes, I think that would not work. It will work
Okay.
in your home only. You'll see the channels, you'll see the web series, you'll go and talk in front of the mirror about yourself. That just assume that you are sitting in front of the interviewer. Just put your chair, sit on that, and just try to make eye contact, and let's ask a question. Try to sit in front of the mirror and ask the questions to yourself, and then try to answer. And then if you will do it step by step, one day, day 2, day 3, day 4, and day 6, you will realize that I'm able to answer. So that will build your confidence. So confidence is also very important. Communication. So communication, as I have told you, there are always two aspects. That is technical and behavioral aspect. So that comes under all of these things. Your body language when you are sitting. So if someone talks you and called you in, so what you have done, you have just sat down. This is not the way. He will tell you, the interviewer will tell you that you may sit, be seated, then you will sit. And you cannot just put your hands in the table and you will sing in eye contact. That is totally wrong. You should be having your both the hands should be in your lap. You should not shivering your legs like that, because it will make you feel nervous, and it will also show that you are nervous. You should not bite your nails at that time. All these things are really very important. So when I used to discuss all of these things with my juniors, so I used to tell them that there is always a 60% and a 40% ratio. The 60% comes under the behavioral aspect, and the 40% comes under the technical.
Correct.
So you should also be having the attention in all of these things.
Okay, Adish. So thank you for all this. So the tips that you have given at the last was very important to the viewers. Okay, so thank you everyone. So if you like
thanks,
this,
thanks Vaibhav, for having me here. It's been great time with you and sharing all of these experiences. And I would like to give the viewers that if you want to connect me, if anybody wants to connect me, they can connect me within my LinkedIn. That is an Aditya Vyas. You can also connect with me in Instagram at Muzikadit. So usually I used to, right now I'm very active in LinkedIn. So I used to share some of the my experiences or some other experiences I used to share with them. So you guys can connect over me in LinkedIn as well. Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks
That's
for having
great.
me.
So okay everyone. So as Aditya told, you can connect with them over LinkedIn, over Instagram. So I will mention his link of LinkedIn in my description link, so you can just refer it.
Yeah, sure,
okay.
Sure.
And if you have any question, just write down in the comment section. We will come to the Adit and we'll try to answer every questions. Okay, friends. So if you need any other questions, I mean to say. Okay, friends. So if you want any other videos on any specific companies interviews, just please let us know in the comment sections. And thank you for watching every videos, and do like, share, and subscribe our channel. Thank you.